Stream died, my audio died, then my computer locked up. I fired up my laptop while my main computer was restarting, and it took forever to download the new update to PokerStars. So by the time that downloaded the update, my new computer was back. I exited that on the laptop so I could play it on the main one, and that again took forever. Just got back in. Looks like we're in a spot of trouble, is my guess. And it doesn't look like our Postgres is going to start up for Hold'em Manager, which happens sometimes. Please don't happen now. Hold'em Manager has never been stable for me. Just always has issues, whether or not it starts up PostgreSQL and things like that. I've tried so many things to configure it correctly, gone through so many different guides. I've probably spent maybe 4 days of my actual life working on trying to get it to work right, but we'll see. Yeah. I think that it did not start the process, so we might be playing these tournaments without a HUD. This is not ideal. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Wish it's not. I don't know if Big Oofy is just doing that because he knows we weren't there before. I'm trying to start Postgres manually. See if it works. In my experience, it never works to do it manually, or has maybe 1 in 10 times or something. So we have come back to disaster pretty much. Top left for 23, 24, and a 90 man. Top right, we're doing decently so far. 89 of 321 in the $1.10 deep, but we lost some opportunities to play. Bottom left, we're 12 of 14 in a 45 man, and bottom right, we're 15 of 16 in a 45 man, and our blind is so low that no one cares anymore. And we lost our data, actually. Because of what just happened, we lost all our PokerStars data on people we'd marked, people we'd somewhat figured out, like this guy. Notes we'd taken. Our 2 hours of the session was gone. Not great. We're not on break anymore, so I should probably remove that. And let's just fold up here. Nothing really exciting going on for most of this. I don't know why what just happened. And I wish that Postgres would start the Hold'em Manager, but I really think it won't. So I will be headless, I assume. Just trying to remember in my head what I'd mark these guys as, mostly. Don't want to mismark anyone, of course. Easily could be a shove, I don't know. Just so dead in most of this. think you could probably say that I'm quite tilted at this moment. The stream died, my audio died, then my computer locked up. I fired up my laptop while my main computer was restarting, and it took forever to download the new update to Poker Stars. Oh, sorry, you guys are hearing the mic through mic. Did not mean that. Just curious to see if my audio is okay. Yeah, this guy's not this. We have a gut shot to great things, bottom left. We're gonna fold. Hit an ace top right. Let's focus on it. There are fleshy things and straighty things that can want to be a part of this. What do we have? I'm actually gonna fold it. He's full potting that. Top left, we're gonna shove. There's a limp. I don't think we're way ahead of Steel Vicky at all. I just think with 4 bigs, we can't say goodbye to ace-6 suited. The worst of the aces out there, really, but I don't think we can say goodbye to it. We have a chance to pick up 7. I don't think he folds to us, but there's a chance, right? Wow. Well, we would have been okay being in on that against Frosty, but good times. Let's see if we can win this. We're going to be all in a different table. This one we're jamming, 7 bigs. I'm hoping we get it through. I think we don't all the time, but we did, so that's good. Look at what those guys are calling with. We're gonna shove this again and get called off by queens. And we lose it on the flop. We lost it pre-flop, truly. On the flop just confirmed things. But we're not folding there with the 6s. And I don't expect him to fold with queens, so that's just going to be something that happens with those stack sizes. Feel kind of naked without the HUD out there. Let's shove this. I know we've shoved like 3 times now, but didn't show that we shoved absolute terrible stuff. Dinos is sitting out. I think he was one of the looser people. I don't know much about the other guys. Alright. Double our stack for the blinds. That's always good. Boom, 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 boom. Getting min raised by a laminate harp. A shove by this guy. We're gonna fold. See what happens. Ace king versus 8s. We would have been way behind. That flop would have been amazing for us, of course. But you can't be retrospective about this. We're getting pretty low on some tables, folks. Not gonna lie. That is a truth. Not the truth, but a truth. We're gonna fold. I'm gonna wait for good hands to do stuff. Especially not knowing what's going on out there. We're 16 of 22 in the 90-man, 12 of 44 in this one you're watching, and 14 of 14 on a different one. This could be a shove, right? I think it's a fold. It's a pretty sad little fold. Up here, we min-opened, we got a call behind, and then this guy just jams it in. I don't know much about him. I don't know if this is a call, but I'm pretty sure it's not. 34 big blinds deep. I mean, it's not. Standardly, it's not, but versus that specific player, it could be. Up here, we're going to jam. Up here, it was ace-king as a shove. Over here, this 4-5 whatever guy, he min-raised before, and then he jammed the next hand. So he's been pretty active the last couple hands. Why is this not starting up? Damn it. Like, what is this? I think we jam over, right? This guy's just being very steely. It's not amazing, by the way, but he's opened like 4 or 5 times here, I think. And I think he calls us off quite a bit. Okay. With an ace. An ace. No. Alright. 13-13 in that one. Let's move on. I think I'm going to end registration for the day, given the troubles and not being able to get this Hold'em manager back up. It's a bit of a struggle. Over on this table, I think I can call this, but I'm going to fold it. I think they get pretty aggressive post-flop. Oof. Much dead in this other tournament. 13-13, 1.5 big blinds left. I think it should be anything that I can shove. I should, and I will, but I expect callers, and I expect it not to hold most of the time, even if I'm ahead. So this will be tournament life right here. Here we go, 1.4 bigs. So scary for everyone. Expect to get some callers, and hopefully we're ahead, or we pick up a pot. Yeah, we're way ahead. Can we hold? Nope. That'd be tournament life. That's that one. We're doing so well in these tournaments. Alright, back to this guy. Oh, let's put it on this action over here. I think we just jam it. I don't think there's any reason to induce, is there? Yeah, we could induce. I don't have any time bank left, so we're gonna have to do what we do best. Yeah, well, we're gonna get it in. I don't really want to see it multi-way, but it might be a good way to chip up. Let's hope no one has a queen on this flop. These guys are both really deep. Less likely someone has a queen on this flop. Probably not anyone having a flush draw on that flop, but maybe on the turn. So we lose to a 6, or a queen obviously at this point. Maybe an ace-high bets, so bets aren't so scary at this point. Flushes could be out there though, that is a little scary. That's a big bet. Alright. We triple up, that's good for us. We just went from 15th place to 6, so 6 of 19 left in the 90-man. I guess this is getting closer to the bubble, so maybe that's why people are being frisky. Frisky, funky, and weird. I cannot for the life of me get that HUD to work. Trying my best constantly. I'm gonna fold. So we had a bit of malfunction with our system over here, but it's okay. Things will happen. I mean, we can certainly call this. I'm not humming and hawing about that. I'm just wondering what happens when or if this guy shoves behind and Alk Blue calls off. Do we? I don't think we do call off to a call. So I don't know if this is worth being a part of. But maybe Ms. Guy just checks it back like that. We'll check it. We're ahead of most things at this point, and there's a lot of scary cards that come off. If Alk folds or Albaca Blues, we will call. I think we fold. Wow. That one hurts my soul a little bit. I'll admit that. But mainly because of the river hitting the way it did. Other than that, I don't think it hurts too bad. Ace Queen certainly is okay, like the way it was played by Albu. It's fine. I think he was trying to induce a shove by a miss guy, and he would easily have called that off pre-flop. Over on this table, in the deep payouts, which, let me look. 44 minutes left of registration, so a lot of things got to happen over there. But we're gonna repop it. 35 reg is in a lot of hands. We're gonna call off to Conta. Ace King versus Ace King. Standard. Everyone loves a chop pot. Back on this table, we're gonna min open. $19 people left in this tournament. I would guess that Fleetas is one of the deeper stacks. Yeah, he's the actual deepest stack. We're gonna just do a standard half pot c-bet. He calls it. He could be doing this with any ace. So we're gonna continue aggression half pot. He jams. Wish we knew more. We're gonna fold it. I know that he's doing things like that just to mess with us. But he can always have a better overpair. That's not impossible, right? We just don't know too much. We are going to raise this. So we saw that Conta cold shoved Ace King off, 37 mid lines deep versus limp and 5x 3-bet ahead. This guy's shoving sevens. Shoving against my sevens. He's probably got a wider range or a better range. If I knew that we were closing the action, I would call it, but we are not, so I will fold it. And once again, our decent potential hand becomes a nothing hand. That's fine. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna fold this in. We've got 2 tables left. Given that we can't get a HUD up, we're probably gonna let it float with 2 for now. Seems like Conta is kind of involved in a lot. I don't know if it's not necessarily so, but he is involved in a lot. Right.
They call it toast.
I'm gonna fold this. This one's could be interesting. I think it's lost its interest at this point. I think this is an openable hand. We're a little worried that Ms. Guy decides to shove back at us or something in that realm. We don't know too much. I think we're going to call it in position. 3 to 7. We have a backdoor flush draw. .2 open from Miss Guy. We'll call. It's not a good turn. I don't think we have amazing odds to be part of this, by the way. I think there's a lot of times that Miss Guy has the jack on the flop. I don't know why he would be betting it out of position like that. So maybe this is just bad. We're definitely folding that. It's a full pot bet on the turn. So far our small ball has not gotten us anywhere. What the hell just happened? I mean, I should be marking that this guy is a little bit more towards this, right? Over on this table, that just happened. So we're 15 of 18 on the 90 man now, and I think we mixed ourselves up with a couple pots that we didn't have to. So after winning, what was it, a 3-way all-in or something, we've tended to chip down a bit. I think this could be a potential shove. I think this cuts off some of our shove ranges, but we'll limp behind. We don't know much about Mr. Miyagi, other than the fact that he is a kung fu or karate master. There's a lot of squeeze potential that we've left behind here, unfortunately. And Fleetus with the deep stack is likely to put some pressure on. Alright. Flushes are there. Straights could get there, flushes could get there, and we are never the top ace if someone has an ace. So we'll just call. I think that's scary for him if he doesn't have something good. So we're gonna bet. Alright, we take it down. It's a nice little chip up. It's a scary turn, right? It's a really scary turn. And he might be betting on the flop to protect against that turn, right? This is, we're interested in both tournaments, by the way. This is the 90 man, and we're 17 people left in the 90 man. And this is the $1.10 deep payouts. But those deep payouts don't start until everyone finishes registering, which is for another 36 minutes. think that that probably brings the most. I don't know what I'm searching for the right word. I would say validity, but that's not it. The most. That is potentially the best reason for playing sit and goes, is that you sit and you go, and there isn't going to be 10 minutes late registration. There isn't going to be 1 hour late registration. Typically, depending on the sit and go, there aren't rebuys. So if there are 45 people who entered, that's it. You know the payout structure. You know what you have to do, where you have to get through to. Obviously, the goal in every tournament is first place, but that doesn't mean there's not money to be made along the way. Over here, we just see kings and sixes enjoy themselves. They get that in pre-flop. No, they did not get that in pre-flop. Alright. Good to know. I think I would like to mark Fleetus as something in the kind of loose passive. I don't know if he's actually passive is the problem. I don't think he necessarily is. I wonder if I can look up this Postgres thing. Well, it's an exciting little hand. Someone's talking about resetting their windsock adapter. I'm not sure I want to do that while we're doing things like this. Let's do checky back things. We're just gonna fold this. Don't have too much time to play with it. I'll hold this. Where's the windsock restart? Let's go on this journey together, folks. If things don't keep getting in our way. I hope it doesn't completely kill everything, but I suspect it might. Oh, I have to restart the computer for that to take effect. Well, that's not going to happen. Let's see if this will start now, though. I doubt it. We could steal with this, but I don't think Fleetus or Igor have shown that they can be... Well, no, I don't know why I said that about Igor. I don't know too much about him. He actually seems like he's probably been a decent player in general. But I think Fleetus doesn't give up his big blind that often, so Queen 7 suited from mid position starts to lose a lot of its allure. Allure as a word. Meant to add something earlier about payouts when I get into tournaments, but I'm not sure. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Over on this table, we're just going to check it back. This guy's being really steely and passive, though. Like, he's pretty loose pre-flop, kind of aggressive on the flop, and then kind of gives up turn. But this is a pretty big bet. I think we're probably behind this quite a bit. And we're definitely out of position. I don't think we're stealing it from him too often. Back on this table, I think we can min open. Certainly a decent hand. I think Fleetus will come along a lot. Okay, he's just putting pressure on us. I don't think we can call. I think we could either jam or fold, and I think folding makes more sense. Over on table 2, I think we could do jammy things. Of course, Hold'em Hutch could have a better hand. We're hoping that is not the case. Back on table 1, we're going to min open this guy. I'm going to zoom it out, and you guys can see what's going on for both until the action does something on one or the other. Queens get through. Kind of expect some. So I get 3-bet with my Jack 10 suited, but I get a walk with my kings. Seems like fun and standard stuff. I'm curious. I'm not going to play this hand, but let's look at the replay on this one. So this guy opens 2.5, right? 15 big blind, 2.5 open. Seems to be his jam, his type of thing. Position of the blinds 2.5 open from mid position, folded to shove. Right? Capable of laying down. Right? And he may only be doing that against me specifically, because my stats are looking pretty tight in a way. So flush gets there. Not good for the home team. But so do trip 8s. We could have probably bet the flop with a straight draw on that. And we could have probably bet the turn with a pair for sure, considering the ace probably wasn't connected to. But I don't know that we extract too much value from someone with 6.8 behind. Interesting that Ms. Guy is starting to be aggressive. We will see. Just got delivered some more food. Not really sure what it is. Maybe you guys can figure it out. It's hard to position things for cameras. I don't know what that is. I think it has salt on it, unless that's sugar. Ah. It is salt, and a lot of salt. Those are peanuts, though, and they're decent, but salt is a little much. Something quite addictive about this. I don't know why, so we shall continue. I just realized you're hearing me chew, and I apologize. I'm gonna fold this. It's going hand for hand. It's 11 of 14, or 14 of 14 technically. 11 of 14, and at 13 it starts paying, so that's why it's going hand for hand. Over on table 2 we have something. Not the most amazing hand though. I expect 35 reg to bet this quite a bit. Queen 10 got there. Alright. Took me a while to work out the split pot on that. What did 35 reg have? Queen 9. So you had a draw. Back to this table. Let's check it back. Ms. Guy has been a little more a part of pots, I guess you could say. There aren't too many people lower than us in this tournament. Miyagi is one of them. Miyagi, Cheeks, and Ms. Guy are the only ones lower in the entire tournament. But we're 2 tables, so. Let's fold it. I don't know if we should just put this guy... I don't know what his stats are. He seems to be mixing it up quite a bit lately. I don't know if that's because we're around the bubble zone or what he's up to. I mean, he limped that last hand. He's been min-raising. I don't know if we just shove. I think we do. Right? He's just been stealing so often. I think we'll put him around this. I don't know if it's true. Get a shove from Mr. Miyagi. If we were closing the action, we would fold. Or if we were closing the action, we would call it. If we were in Miss Guy's position, we would call it. And I don't think we'd be way ahead, but I think with the blinds and odds and things of that nature, it'd be worth it. This guy seems to disagree with Miss Guy folding. He is from Romania, speaking in English and calling people stupid players. Nothing we haven't seen before on PokerStars. What tourney? Yep. So we moved tables. What was that? We don't know. Getting asked in chat about my HUD. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, my HUD is typically up. My main one, Hold'em Manager 2, but my computer crashed. And sometimes when you start up the computer, it ends up causing issues with Hold'em Manager for some reason. We're gonna min open King Jack, eating some peanuts. Showed on stream. There's a 5-minute delay, so sorry about that. You can kind of see my wife made them. Alright, let's fold that. So, sorry, I did try and say in chat what tourneys are which. On this one, it's the 25-cent Hold'em, 90, right? And on the other one, is this little guy. Oh, right here. We're gonna fold that. The 110 deep payouts, and more of an overview of what's actually going on. You can see that right there. So this one on the left is the 90 min, and this one on the right is the deep payouts 110, which is still registering. It's got another 15 minutes. It takes forever. I'm not actually sure how they're home cooked. I imagine they're somehow boiled or something of that nature, to be perfectly honest. Let's focus back on table 1. Just gonna check it back. We have a gut shot. Now there are flush draws out there. We'll call for 1. We could still be winning with high card. It's less likely now. I think we're going to check it back. Yeah, we take it high card. We had a bit of showdown value. And he's never calling there, right? If we're betting, I don't think so. I extracted max. We're still bubbling here. Everyone's just waiting for that bubble to burst. Get down to 13 people. That's a goal. Show payouts, please. Wait, what does this guy do? Let's open. Let's just min open versus him and see what he does. Payouts. So on table 3, or table 1, this is the 90-man payouts. You can see the structure here. Starts paying at 13, up it goes. On the other one, these are the payouts, but they don't start. So it might change according to it ending, but at the moment it pays out at. Just checking back on the board. Sorry. Pays out 260 places. It pays 118. It's a deep tournament, so it starts. There's not many people left. You can still register, but you're not gonna have much of a stack if you do. Things of that nature. We'll see where it starts going. Payouts get up there. Back to this action. I bet pre, check, and then he's betting river. I don't have any time bank. I could be fine here, but I don't know. Yeah. So he's willing to bluff the river. Let's note that, right? Need a perfectly fine call pre-flop. I think we just shove. No, do we shove? Yeah, we shove. Let's hope we're ahead if he calls it off. We're gonna flat this in hopes that someone else shoves over. Does not happen. Let's stay ahead, please. Alright, take it down. We burst that bubble. And we burst it now in 3rd place at the moment, but technically we're 13 of 13, right? We can exit this tournament at any time, truthfully. We should never really think that we're 1st or 3rd or something of that nature. We just gotta do what we do. We're in the money, so we're gonna mark it as red. I think I need to wait 5 minutes to update it down on the stream. I don't think I should tell you guys ahead what's going on. Might actually be out of it by the time I can update it, but that's fine. Should find a better way to show payouts on the side of the screen or something like that. I haven't really figured all that out. Plus, my chat down here that's showing on the stream is too small. You can't really see the type, so that's not good. We're gonna fold this. This guy typically min bets, and now he's changed it to a 3x. I don't know what that means, but I certainly know it means I'm not happy about seeing that flop out of position for a more bloated pot. We're gonna fold. Over here, we're gonna fold and bring it back. So we just saw this little pot right, I'm gonna fold that. This little pot right here, knocking at Alba Blues. Curious to see what happened pre. So. We're gonna fold this, by the way. Top left's a fold. It feels like CLB is a bit of a table boss at the moment and doing the good things that he should when he's got the chip lead. I assume he's got the max chip lead right now. Yeah. So we're probably going to mark him around this and see what happens in the future. You only play at 4 tables, noob. You take so long to act. Okay. I don't really talk about my bankroll much. Kind of keep it private. I've been tinkering with the idea of just keeping it on stream and public and this and that, and I'm not really worried about that being the case. I'm damn sure everyone's going to call me a nit for playing the levels I do with the role I have, so that's one minor trepidation. Not that that matters much, but... So we bet pre, and then this guy decides to lead into us, donk into us post. We certainly have overcards, so we've got, what, 6 outs? That's 24%. I think we might be getting like exact odds, except that it's really cutting our future equity down if we continue there. Imposition is great, but... And by the way, rounders, I don't know, I get upset with streamers when they don't tell me, or not me specifically, but when they don't show their bankroll or have it as part of their stream. I'm considering doing it. Just wondering what you need to play those. 300 to 500? Yeah. I'm gonna be on break, grab a drink, and I'll see you guys. Thank you for watching. Let's pop it out of this, put it on this, be right back. I don't know why my stream just refreshed. For some reason, my wife thinks that talking to the side means that she won't be heard. And if she whispers, the microphone won't pick her up. But apparently, as you will hear, she is wrong. Alright, I'm back. Thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it. Hit that follow button. Hit it now. You can hit it now. Or now. Or you could have hit it before, and if you did, I appreciate it. And don't hit the unfollow button. Just leave it. Leave it where it is if you hit the follow button. And thanks for joining. Alright. Should probably edit our title. Oh wow. I just bothered to type out my entire title. And then it just reset it to nothing. Okay. Alright. See how that fares. Really appreciate you guys hanging out in chat. Any questions you have, I'll be more than happy to answer if I can. I think this table will be back first, so let's keep an eye on it. Let's keep that as our focus. We didn't really make the payouts yet on the other one. Registration ends though. Let's have a look quickly. Registration ends in... Oh, it just ended? Perfect. Pays 314, 427 left. So we're 219 to 427. We'll see what happens in that. But let's focus. On this other tournament, maybe I should have worked in on the stream and getting the payouts on the side screen. Maybe I can do that. Okay. We're gonna fold. We don't really want to steal against this guy. He's been aggressive pre-flop, post-flop. He's done unfun things to us. We don't want to be out of position. So you're nitty with the roll. Me too. You gotta play it like 400. Yeah, I'm pretty nitty. Yeah. Super nit. I wonder. Let's work on this. I think this is going to come up kind of strange when it comes up. It's a bit of a shame. Okay. I don't know if I can edit this on the fly, but we shall try. Edit, crop. We could steal with this hand. It's certainly good to steal with. But let's just see what happens. Cropping this thing is a little bit more hazardous than expected. Shouldn't be that difficult, but it is. We're gonna open this up. I don't really play X amount of tourneys a day. I'm trying as my goal, which I don't think most people reach a goal, and I haven't been reaching my goal. I'm gonna see about this. I try to play like 9 hours is my ultimate goal a day, but I really only put in around 4. But I put in 2 or 3 hours of study along that, so 7 hours in general, 7 or 8 hours between study and play. Alright, on this table we saw Ace King fly in against Queens. It's fine, let's keep focus. Let's get to that final table. So, I don't think we can make moves against this guy. Can we? No. I actually don't have more up than the 2 at the moment. While I'm streaming, I do 4. I typically 12 table if I'm not on stream. But it's been working okay with 4 and being able to split my attention a little bit. Not that it takes too much more, but just like for the focus of being able to bring up a table properly and show it and talk about it and spend time on it, I think it makes more sense to just play 4-ish. I'll probably get around to more later, but streaming's fairly new for me. As you can see, it's day 7 of my streaming. Not that I've done it 7 days in a row. I think I skipped 1. Yeah, I think that's it. But 7 days of actual streaming, that's what I'm keeping up there, so. I'm just gonna fold. Good things can happen. We just wait for good hands, take our time, wait for good position. I don't think this is a good position. CLB Formix has shown that he wants to be mixed up in pots if he can be. Miss Gui thinks the same. Both of them are the chip leads of the entire tournament at the moment. So not a good time to be mixing it up. There's a guy called Kala who's pretty short. Same with Fleetus, which I'm excited about because Fleetus was wrecking us earlier. But truthfully, I'd say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us are pretty much similar stacks. So I don't think we're going to be moving to final table for a while. It's probably going to take some time. If people get good hands, of course they're going to get mixed up in those hands. But other than that, I don't think that's going to be the case. And CLB seems to be raising me a lot. King 4 is actually something I could shove back in with. But we shall leave that move for later. I think if it folds to us, we will probably shove. We're not super excited about this. Miss Gui hasn't showed that he wants to play all-ins as much as he wants to play post-flop in position. So I think this puts maximum pressure on, gives us a chance to pick up chips. Hey, look at that, we made final table. Alright, you guys will see that in 5 minutes. Or you're seeing it now when I'm saying it, but I won't update the title till we get there. I think there are worlds in which we shove this, too. Right? Miss Gui just saw us do it already, so that's not a great reason. We overstack Charlie, so we don't want to, like, min open and have to call it off. We'd rather just take the chips cleanly, pick them up. I think this could be perfect. We've shoved twice already, and we're going to shove again with kings. And I don't think people are going to believe us. Hopefully we're not against aces or something that beats us. But it's perfectly fine. How do I study? I find videos that I can of people I respect. Streamers too. I look at my game. I mark hands as I'm playing. I have a button on the side of my mouse that I mark a hand. And I'll look at that after. So I'll spend time looking through it. I typically mark a hand where I'm not 100% on what to do. So like getting aces in pre-flop, fine. You don't really have to restudy that. You know, maybe if you couldn't pull someone into a pot when you had it, that's something you might want to study. Maybe if you're in an uncomfortable spot, like we've been on these tables, where you don't know if the king 4 offsuit was a reshove versus a 3x from CLB, then you might look into stats like that. You might have a go at it and see what's really worth it. And so I kind of break things like that down, try and get better at it. One area of study that I think I need to work on is my heads up. That seems to be a little bit lacking at the moment. Not that I'm terrible at it. It used to be one of my favorite parts, and actually a part that I thought that I was pretty good at, but it's kind of slipped a little bit. I played 6-max cash for a while, and I don't think that helps your heads-up game as much, because heads-up games are fine when they're deep, like I'm okay then, but when they get to the middle range, so like 20 to 30 bigs, or like 15 big blinds to 25 big blinds, I would say, that's where I struggle more than any. I think I'm pretty good at small big blinds, super small, but sometimes I don't know if I have the odds to be calling here or there heads up exactly. So I think things like that need to be studied for me, and I do study them. I use 2+2 a lot. I go on there. I don't actually post on there. I think many years ago I posted on there, and all I got was kind of toxic feedback. So I just kind of I prefer to just look at what I think I need to study, and if someone else has posted something similar, I'll just kind of look at those things. Maybe someone's posted a spot that they're not sure about, and I'll think what I want to do, and then have a look at what the comments say and see how varying their ideas are from mine. And sometimes just because one person might play a hand one way doesn't mean it's the right way. It means it's how that type of player plays it. So it's good to have a perspective too, right? Just because in a complete vacuum X play is better than Y play, it doesn't mean that a Y player will do X thing. It means a Y player will do Y thing. So you need to be aware of things like that. Here, this is interesting dynamic. This guy just seems to keep trying to pick up chips, which is his goal. He's pretty far ahead of most of the table except Miss Guy. And so every time he's shoving, he's putting everyone at risk who's deciding to be a part of it with him. If it gets to king to us, I think we shove this. I think we call this. I'm not worried about calling it and getting those odds. I'm worried about calling it and getting Luca to do something behind us. We had a good shot at it. We have backdoors to stuff right now, but it's a pretty turn card. But we would like to see a jack fall off of the non-club or spade variety. And if we call this, we're at 23 chips. I think we're just putting ourselves in dark places, which is a shame, right? Nothing really happening on the other tournament at the moment, by the way. People are being pretty aggressive, and we're pretty shallow stacked, so I'm tempted to shove this. My only thoughts of not shoving it is, I think from what we've seen of Charlie, he's extremely tight, and we're also a little worried about Miss Guy coming in behind us. Miss Guy will call this, I have no doubt. Oh, pure punish. Pure punish. But that's fine. I mean, the way he played that aggressively post, I don't think that we were ahead most of the time on flops, so I don't think it's worth calling. Like, we don't have the odds to call that pre-flop, and if we do call, we can get squeezed by people. It just puts us in really awkward positions. I think 7s are like the nut low of what I would fold in that situation. I'm probably jamming 8s plus, I would guess. I don't know until I hit that spot, but I just feel like we're ahead of quite a bit of the table, and I don't see much reason not to keep that being ahead. So I said I was going to try and crop stuff. I meant to. Let's see if we can get this posted somehow. Image. Payouts, right? Oh, did that just like completely mess with the whole screen? Sorry if it did. Just hang on for a second, everyone. Where did I put this? Okay. I don't know if this is something you can read or not, so I'm sorry if it's not. Maybe we can put it over here. Right? I think that's okay for now. We're folding on the other table. I haven't set up payouts for the other one yet, but this is for this one, and I think when I flip around, yeah, it should go away. Okay. Ace King gets in versus Ace Queen. Ace Queen of the flush takes it. So it's frustrating for Miss Gooey, but good for us. I think Miss Gooey was more of an aggressive player who was taking things away from us. Did I turn the music down too low? Maybe just in my headset. 10s versus 8-9. We are hoping on the 10s getting it, and they do. GG, Miss Gooey, you are gone. So now we are the next pay jump. Gonna fold. That's what we do. We do foldy things with a queen at 3 suited to a 3x open, even though that's not something to worry about too much. CLB Formix tends to do those opening things. In the other tournament, there are 320 people left, and it pays at 314. So 6 people to go until it starts paying. It's a deep payout, so they're not that high, but we're getting closer. What programs do I use? I would love to use things like Flopzilla and ICMizer, things like that. But truthfully, all I use is that I use my Hold'em Manager to sort the hands, obviously, and figure it out. And then, oh, aces versus ace king. Double up for Luca. So I end up using Equilab, I believe it's called. Let me find it. It's basically a free, ICMizer. I think if you take your time, you can pretty much do all the same things or similar. Poker Strategy Equilab. It seems to be pretty good. There are different ones. There's an ICM trainer that's pretty good. I haven't put too much money into different things. That's one of the things I'd like to do if I get more from poker itself, so I can increase my game and my bankroll. Gonna fold. And when I fold, sometimes I take my time. It's not always just insta-fold. I think if you insta-fold, then you're giving them more reason or initiative for being aggressive with your blind or things of that nature, making you more of a pushover, I think. If you take your time, I think it's helpful. If you take all the time in the world, maybe it's not helpful. They think you're just like clinging on if you're not at a final table. But I think it's good things. Let's edit this title now that we're here. Yeah, this club 4x just... He keeps rolling with that 3x open, huh? Alright, on this table we are in the payouts, we have ace-king, offsuit, we are shoving the 7 bigs, we're 239 of 312, so we're not really like hurting, you know? 7 big blinds makes us hurt a little bit. Kind of want to see where this goes. CLB open shoved on the other table. Let's bring it back out to this for a second while there's action on both. We get called. Let's keep it clean, fellas. It is not as clean as we would like. Oh, it's a beautiful river though. Pick up the double up. Let's move it back to table 1. That seems to be where the action is. We're gonna fold. So club 4x seems to be extremely aggressive. He's opening a lot. He's shoving. He's just doing aggressive stuff. King, jack, and 9s. We're gonna fold this. I feel like Fleetas is pretty committed at this point, and 9-4 is not going anywhere. We wouldn't be calling an open shove by under 0, so we're not gonna call it 2-way or 3-way. We're wanting the queens to get there, but they did not. So Fleetas stacks back up, which pushes us down slightly. I think if it folds to us, we could be shoving this. The reasons not to shove would be Daco and Charlie. We can't shove with CLB, obviously, doing this ahead of us. He's doing this really wide is what I'm suspecting now, but we can't do anything about it. And he probably knows that. Blinds just went up, so we are looking at shallower stacks than before. As you can see, CLB has kept a lead and he's kept pushing and doing things, and he's put a lot of pressure on. He's double the stack of anyone at the table. Fleetas and Poker Fight. Well, Poker Fight's a little bit more, but we kind of want to call from Charlie. No go. That's fine. Queen 5 off will be a no go for us. CLB is now opening 4.3. He was opening 3x consistently before. I think he's doing this because it is pretty much half of DaCosta's stack. So he's kind of pricing himself in, or maybe warning DaCosta that he will be going all in. So why was that 4.3, right? And why is this 3? Is it position? Is it who's in the big? Could be. Now he's opening 3 again. Interested to know, this is the guy that got like aggressive earlier, right? That someone was 4-tabling. He was like angry with them, calling them a noob or telling them profane words. We want the Jack 8 to take this, as sick as that sounds. It does not. Maybe this is good for us. I don't know. I'm gonna fold. I think we're going to start moving this guy over here to a different type of player. King Jack gets into Queen 7. Hoping for the Queen 7 to hit it, really. They do not. So Fleetus gets it, and now CLB auto sits out the next hand, which is, I mean, let's be honest, this guy has been a complete bully the entire time. This will be a beautiful thing if CLB gets knocked out. Nothing against him personally, but yeah, this would be absolutely beautiful if he gets knocked out. I think he's probably just disgusted with himself right now and sitting out. That he just lost like 1,000 flips in a row. That weren't even flips, but he decided to be a part of them for some reason. So this gets limped to us, then it gets checked. I don't know how often a bet works here. I'm a little scared if I bet I'm going to be lower than other people. Now we have a gut shot, but I just don't enjoy that hand. It's pretty crappy. So I'm going to move out of the way. In my other tournament, I haven't set up the payouts for that yet, but we will see. I think this could be a shove. Just considering ICM. I think we fold it. Like this guy, so that is a shovable hand. There's no question about it. I'm absolutely not questioning that. What I am questioning is what fold equity I had versus someone with 50 bigs, which is 4 times mine. 2s? I think it's the same situation. Any call, 2s are good, 2s are fine. Any call though is flipping with me, right? Any ace X, oh my god, 2s again. Any ace X is flipping with me, and any pair is ahead of me. So I'm hoping to get it, like, anything that calls me is ahead of me too, right? Or flipping with me. So let's imagine someone calls with 7-5 offsuit. They're flipping with me. I'm not that far ahead, so I don't think it's worth being involved in that. At this structure, like, we're just slightly ahead of DeCoste. He's got to do some things. We're not really ahead of Charlie, and we're definitely ahead of CLB, so that's a good thing. I meant to open up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's fold it. I'm looking to edit the other one so that when we get on the table, we can do some fun things. Show you guys what the payout structure is, things like that. But I don't know that we're actually going to be in that other one too long, to be honest with you. We're chipped pretty low, which seems to be the way. I mean, that happens to us a lot. What just happened? What? What? You guys aren't seeing what happened, but I was cropping something, and then it zoomed into something really small, and then zoomed out, and it was just all over the place. Just some craziness. You're gonna fold. 4 mix is autoed in. That's good for us. Let's recrop. Crop. Okay. Okay. Let's take our time, do a little fold. So we're pretty much not low at this point. We need to make moves. That's what we're here for. getting over to this table for a second, in which we're pretty low. I'm gonna add 110 payout. Browse for it for a sec. I folded the 10-4 suited, by the way. I think the chip lead doesn't give up to me too often when I'm the nut low, so I need to wait for a decent hand, which is fine. We can wait. We don't have to always be super aggressive. Hopefully you guys can see those payouts. So now when I flip back and forth, you can see the respective payouts for the tournaments. We're gonna fold. In this dynamic, we're pretty equal to Charlie and DaCosta. They might have a higher or lower fight or flight response and these chip levels. We're not putting our stack in with something ridiculously low or terrible. Maybe we should have shoved something like the 10-4 suited before, and we might in the future. But we'll see. Fleetus is just chipping up, grabbing some chips. That's fine. Things like that can happen. Nice that we beat that other guy, CLB though, who was just being a bit of a dick. King Queen offsuit is probably a shove, except for the open ahead of us. So if he hadn't opened, we would have probably shoved that. Because he opened, it's making our King Queen less likely to be so far ahead, and we lose pretty much all fold equity. There's a chance he folds and we pick up more chips, but likely that we lose all fold equity. Is he really opening for 3x under the gun with 20 bigs, 20-ish bigs, and folding to another 6 chips? 6 or 7 big blinds? I don't think so. He could, but I find it highly unlikely. We're getting opened here. Ace-9 off. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be a shove. I'm gonna fold it. Keep getting pushed around. I'm pretty sure that was a shove. Big time. Fleetus is now taking table or chip lead or whatever's going on. Table captain, I guess you could call it. He was earlier a table captain. We saw him on ours and he was doing things like this. So he 3x'd with a decent hand, but he 2x'd on a steal to us. It's a little confusing. I'm not sure what to make of that. Feels like Charlie and DaCosta are waiting for me as well. So, fine. We can wait. Oh my god. Alright, this is good. This is good for us. This is a small 3-bet, right? He should really be shoving, not small 3-betting. So now that Fleetus flatted it, I expect them to see this to river, which could be extremely good for us. Oh my god. Alright. So 22 big blinds, 3 bets, ace versus 3x to 11x. Gets in on flop. Fine. So we just knocked out, or we got ahead of somebody who we probably shouldn't have twice now, right? We weren't ahead of this guy's stack who left, CLB. We weren't ahead of this guy's stack who just left. We haven't really had much chance to get ahead. We haven't had amazing hands, I don't think. The 7s, I think that's one hand we could probably look back on and potentially disagree. But you've also jumped, right? 2 pay places since then, so... Can't argue with that. So we're super low, so are these guys. Now is when we make our move. We're not making a move. I just wish I didn't lose all my time bank to my disconnect, because I want them to feel like I'm really thinking about these decisions and that I'm going to do something unfun at some point. But they have no fear of me. Why would they fear me? We're gonna fold this hand over here. Come back to this one, and we're gonna fold this as well. They could get mixed up here. Fleetus and Luca are chip leads here. Poker's third. Us little scrubbies right here are clinging on for dear life, hoping to go further. And we could get top spot, but it's probably not that much in the books at this point. They say all you need is a chip and a chair, but you also need cards. You need those cards to hold. This might work out perfectly, horribly for us. Call, Charlie. Call. 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 No. Did we really expect him to call? Probably not. Ace 10 offsuit is the best thing we've seen. Oh, these guys are so low. I'm gonna go for it. We're just contemplating the ICM position. We just want to see this heads up. Oh my god. Now we're getting crushed. We should have probably just gotten out of the way. We need a jack. Looking for a jack. We need a jack. Jack. Nope. Well, that's tournament. I think I made my move too soon. But what are we supposed to do against these guys? They're holding on for dear life. Good for them. Fleetus has been opening every hand pretty much, so we need to do something at some point. His open doesn't exactly exude strength typically. That's that. Let's move on to our other tournament. Gonna hit that fold button. We're pretty low chipped here as well. People being fairly aggressive on our table. We're at the one. We're 157 of 184. Getting paid $1.55. Nothing that special for $1.10 buy-in. It's deep payouts, so that's why it's having those types of payouts at that position. Next jump is at 152, so we're outside that range. We need to find a spot and make something happen, and we will. I'm wondering if we lost. No. I'm just thinking if we lost our fold. I mean, obviously we lost fold equity, but it's just a bit of a shame. It went three-way on that flop, and it's obviously a shame he had ace king when I had ace 10 after he's raising everything, but nothing you can do about it. I think what we did was fine, given circumstances. We will mark it for later, though. We'd like to see this for free. This is not the flop you're looking for. obviously gonna fold. We had a flush hunter and a straight hunter, and the flushy got there. Appreciate everyone watching out there. Thanks for tuning in. There's some great streamers out there, so when you guys hit up my channel, I really appreciate it. Please hit the follow if you haven't. I don't have a follow graphic yet. I haven't worked that out. Maybe that should be figured out, but I do appreciate the follows. Thank you so much. Okay. I don't think we can do anything aggressive here. Would love to have my HUD back so I can see what's going on, but we had a little failure going on. Our sound cut off for some reason. So when that happened, our computer decided to get janky on us. The old restart button was engaged, and when we came back, Holden Manager will not start up Postgres. Postgres is like a background server for the HUD, and for some reason it decides one day it will start immediately, other days you have to restart the computer 3 or 4 times to try and get it to start up. And it's the most frustrating thing in the world, especially when you've just come back from crash and you don't have time to do another restart. So we're kind of playing slightly blind. Maybe that's good. Maybe it'll help us get better in the future. I don't know. I think this is it, ladies and gentlemen. This be that hand that Sir died on. We shall see. We haven't really done much, so I don't expect them to call too wide, but then 40 bigs. Does he care about flipping with my stack? Woo-hoo-hoo. We pick it up. Lines are changing in 1 minute. That's not good for us. We've got 8 bigs. Biggerinos. We're going to be folding this. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. This is going to be a fold. No news there to anyone out there, I'm sure. Five nine suited. Get that out of my face. Nope. Hard pass. Hard pass. Hard pass. I was gonna make a basketball reference of like a hard pass from one of the top-notch point guards, but I don't know, maybe their passes aren't hard. Maybe they're delicately placed in the correct position, so it might not be correct. Hard pass. Deuce 4 offsuit is not something I'm waking up in the morning for. We are 138 of 150. That pay jump happened. So we are now getting paid 177, which is pretty good. It's even better to be seeing this completely free. I enjoy that. I know everyone's hunting me down. I don't like that, but we'll check it. I'm curious as to what Sean Paul is limping, right? Like, what's he limping and then shoving? It's got to be good, right? Let's see. King 10, not so good. Sorry, buddy. You're out of here. Alright. Next pay jumps at 108. We're 132, 143. Once again, we need something to happen. Nothing has really happened. I think we picked up chips once, but our hands have just been pretty abysmal in truth. I'm really tempted to shove this, to be honest with you. Nope, we can't shove it now. I'm gonna try and look up if that would be a shove, though. Typically, let's fold. 5 bigs, small blind. 9-6 off is a shove, not 9-3. Okay. I don't think you're surviving much in those tournaments, but okay. Are we falling on the sword in this one? I think it's just so far behind what Varogue is opening in general. It just feels so... I mean, we're just basically blinding out of this tournament. It's not ideal. But, like, this guy's limping for 1/13 of his stack. Then this guy is raising that. And then there's people behind us who can do damaging things. We're waiting for something decent. And we don't really have stats on these guys or reads on their play. This will be a read. It's not full. Yeah, there we go. Feels like... yeah. Let's mark that up. Holding. I mean, he could be a nitty player with that kind of playstyle. I'm not really sure. I don't know where to place him. We have a 2.2 open, 2.2 call with a 9 behind. I would put Lyman on a fairly strong hand when he's just calling. Obviously, he's stronger if he's raising. He's got less aces and kings in his range at this point. Probably pairs. A lot of draws got there. Lemon could be trying to pull in the other guy. I mean, a flush draw got there, and straight draws got there, right? This is interesting. They still play it kind of slow, huh? It's interesting. He's betting 1. What is this? Ace Queen. Wow. I think I'm actually surprised that he just called Ace Queen instead of shoving Ace Queen for free. Right? Why is he calling Ace Queen? Maybe he was doing it because he thought Varogue might shove behind, right? Like, he was a small blind, so maybe he thought he'd get like something weird going on. But that's a really strange play. at least in my mind. What happened to my playlist? These songs are not supposed to be here. I purposely put out a royalty-free, and then it's just not inside of that royalty-free thing. My royalty-free stuff has rare singing in it, so when I hear singing, I know that it's not a good time, that I've somehow broken through. And the reason I want royalty-free is I want Twitch not to block the audio for the replay videos, and I upload to YouTube as well, so I don't really want YouTube to cut stuff that they think is deserving of royalty, this or that, blah blah blah. My typical music is not this. This is not what I enjoy so much. I've been trying to find better royalty-free music, but it's been a bit of a struggle, so we're working on it though, folks. We're gonna get things going in better directions. So where are you from, Rounders? I don't know if I'll actually be around. Maybe I'll type this, because who knows if I'll be around by the time you hear this, because this tournament is a little bit low. I'm gonna fold this. Folding into oblivion. Just not catching many hands, but that's fine. That can be the way things go sometimes. Let's look at this tournament structure. They're 10 minute. So it runs similar to the 45 mins, but it just took 2 hours to register, which was ridiculous. I've actually done decently in these $1.10 deep payouts in the past. Like, I typically get to the deep payout. It takes so long. 2 hours of registration is ridiculous, in my opinion. Okay, we have an open and a call on our big blind, which is not so big anymore. Can we pick up a hand? The Poker Stars gods up there, just bring that hand to us. We'll be willing to accept. Maybe I need a lucky peanut. Wow. You guys are gonna see some super nitty play on this, and I'm sorry. I'm not sure this is actually optimal. I just can't bring myself to be shoving a hand like this. I don't exactly imagine they let me walk through it anyway. But we're gonna go on break, I suspect. Yeah. We can't shove it anyway. I mean, look at that though. We shove it and we get it. Think of all the chips. Think how rich we are for one turn. Okay, we're gonna fold. We'll be on break. Thanks for sticking around. Appreciate it so much. I'll be right back after break. just in time to see how nitty my play has been. So tight. I don't think the hands have given me much room, but it's fine. You just do what you can, right? They're actually... Where are we in this tournament? $118. So we're doing things like that at the moment, right? Yeah. Coming back from the break, 117 of 118, a whole whopping 2 big blinds, and we'll be in the button position. No one cares what we do. We can shove, and no one's folding to us. So we need to take that into account, right? We can't be playing hands that we can't be aggressive with hands that are supposed to be aggressive because of fold equity. We have no fold equity. Of course, it's pretty sad, but we try our best. We'll see how far we can get. We've made it pretty far so far. 1,187 people signed up for this tournament, and we've made it to 118th place, so we can't complain about that. And people did re-entries too. This is a re-entry tournament, and I don't re-enter typically. I know you're supposed to, all the pros say you do, blah blah blah, and I just don't. 2 entries are available during the late registration period, and there's 2 extra hours 2 hours total registration, which is unbelievable. This gets opened. 2 bigs. I only have 1.9. I will not be calling with 9-3. Let me get a good hand. Poker stars. It's like the most awful dancing ever, but we'll go for it. Curious. I'm actually pretty excited, or I don't know if the word's excited. I'm kind of proud that I've made it this far headless, as a little headless horseman. It is a little tilting and distracting, and what I got sat out for 10-20 minutes while things went south, so I'm pretty happy that I'm okay. I got into the money in something. $5-10 off will not be the hand we are signing our death wish to. Give the old fold to Rooney. We are 111 exact. Ace 5 off suit. Can we get folds before us? Fold, 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 fold. Alright, so we could hold on for a pay jump, or get it in with the best hand we've seen in 10 orbits or something crazy like that. Here it is. We get it in three-way, looking for a 2. 2 would be nice. We're ahead. We hold. We chip up. Our chip up doesn't do much because we were so chip low. I mean, you can't. Doubling nothing is still nothing. But we're in a better position now than we were a second ago, so we won't complain about that. Take our time. Did a little razzle McDazzle. Fold it. Our hope is to get first place, obviously. The likelihood of such a thing occurring is remote at said point. Anyone can win, of course, and we will be trying, but that is truly the first hand I think we've seen in like 11 orbits that has been even remotely playable, given what the action and sizes of stacks and things happening. I mean, some of these guys are just ridiculous, but I don't even have my HUD to keep an eye on it. So we were on the final table of the 90-man. I didn't really get a chance to keep an eye on what's going on this one. Kings versus Queens. Go, 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 Kings. And we get ahead of that guy. And he just got knocked out on the bubble. So we laddered up to 107. So between 72nd and 107, people get paid $2.02. Woot. What an amazing cash. But yeah, that's good. That's why we're here. Let's fold this. $2.02 is better than $1.77, which I was at a second ago. The next pay jump isn't like all the pay jumps are kind of minimal. Up until the pay jumps around 18th to 17th is a $2 hit. And then it starts to significantly take off. We'd love to go deeper in this tournament, but we are going to need to find a hand. This is a hand. We're just going to open it. I don't think there's any reason to min open or do strange things. I kind of want to see money more than just this going in, but even if we just pick up the blinds, we're increasing our stack, so that's fine too. Oh my god, are they all really going to fold? What? 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 What just happened? How? I don't even understand how that got through. Maybe I'm misunderstanding dynamics. Maybe it just looks too good. But I mean, I'm shoving anything 4s, 5s, ace X kind of thing there. I don't. It's not always queens. I think it's much stronger when it's a min raise from someone under the gun or something with like 4 bigs behind, but that's fine. It's better to just win it than get it in against like ace X and the ace hits the board, right? Queen deuce offsuit is not that defensible. Maybe Lucky Peanut was lucky. We'll have another Lucky Peanut. So there could be a reason to shove this, right? Pre-flop. Because this guy didn't want to get more involved. This guy didn't want to get more involved, and neither did this one. The pressure on this one is the most, and this one is quite a bit with this guy behind. But I think we're okay just seeing it and getting out of it. We don't mind that either. Pocket 2s versus 8-9. I hate to inform a Vorogue, but I had one of his 2s. Alright. Pocket 5s. Limp from this guy. Limp from a bunch of guys. Pocket 5s are going to be a rip. Not ecstatic about this. I just think we do put some pressure on people. I think it's less likely Shanky or Lehman comes in. And Vorogue might get pressured not to because Kuroti's behind him. Let's hold. Can we hold? Please hold. Alright. We're back up to some sort of a stack. That's nice, considering we were at 1.4 bigs, I think, at one point. This could have been playable, I think, but not with someone raising 5x before us. I'm gonna fold this, grab some more Lucky Peanuts. Apparently they're working. Sorry about eating on stream. The sounds must be enjoyable, I'm sure. We're gonna do foldy things. Did blinds just switch? I feel like my happy little stack has already been hurt for some reason. Could just be the antes, right? We are 73 of 102. This Lehman guy plays really strange. I don't know if it's right or wrong, What did he do pre-flop? Like, look at this. Why is he limping ace-jack with 3.9 bigs? Wait, behind? I don't get it. Alright. Note for you, sir. It seems like he's super passive pre-flop, right? This is so close. I think we can do stuff with it's just so close. I think if it's suited and we're one position to the left, we can probably shove there. But it's looking like it's a good thing we didn't, right? Looks like ace 10 and ace king get owned by sevens. Seeing three-way all in here. Pretty action flop. Bam bam. Didn't really get any knockouts, but we got people pretty chip low. It's good for our little stack, because this little stack of mine, I'm gonna make it shine. I wonder if in tournaments you can see if people rebot. Because I'm always confused about re-entries and whether or not it's actually worth it. It'd be good if you could see someone rebuying. Oh, you can. Okay. Oh my god, some of these people have rebought. Let's say a fair amount have rebought, actually. This is a shame. I think that we're folding it though. He could have a read on us, I don't know. If it folds to us, we're definitely shoving. We ain't holding back with the Jack 10 suited from the small blind. I'm not really sure what we do to things ahead of us. Elky we probably snap shove off too. So if Karoti folds, we shove, right? Yeah. Flipping. We hit. Let's hold. Whammo bammo. We got it. Basically grabbed a third of our stack. That's pretty good. You know, I've already had a Monster Energy drink early today, and I am pretty ready for another. Not that I'm energy low, but I just enjoy them so much. I just know I shouldn't. Let's just fold. We don't know much about A region. We don't know much about a lot of the people on our table because our HUD is dead. Hold the manager, come at me. like your product, by the way. I enjoy the HUD. I just don't enjoy when it won't start up. It's a bit of an issue. In order for your product to be valuable, it should ideally be stable. That's full. We're going to be folding this. Take a little time, do a little razzmatazz, a little dance. I don't know what's being opened from under the gun, but the guy's super deep. He probably doesn't care much about a 19 shove or something of that nature. Maybe we're spot on for something that he could care about, but then Vorog is only 11.9 bigs behind. He's probably in a lot. There we go. So we had his hand. We would have tied, but that's fine. So we make a note, right? 120 bigs. We're gonna fold. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I don't enjoy when people burp on stream or things like that, so I really apologize. I mean, from like we're 61 of 85, so it's nice that we're slowly making it towards that final table. But truthfully, these pay jumps are abysmal. So if we see an opportunity, we will take it. We're not gonna. What are we here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Effectively 4 off. 16 bigs. It's a fold. But like we're not gonna knit it up. It's okay to knit to get to the bubble or something like that, because there's a big difference between no money and some money, and you know, but we're talking about a pay jump here of $2.02 to $2.38, which is good at these levels. You know, like it's something, but it's not significant like the next pay jump, which is, or the next, you know, like much further along the pay jumps. We want to make it deeper, and we're willing to risk those, I don't know what you call them. We'll risk those 36 cents to try and get more money, right? That's kind of the basis of poker, really. Okay, we have a limp and a flat. We could do shovey things, but I think a checky thing is better than a shovey thing at this point. I don't think there's too much value in a shovey thing. We are going to check. So we have some backdoor draw stuff going on here, but in general it's a pretty bad hand for us. There's going to be probably not many aces in Crady's range, I don't think. I think he'd probably open aces. So we could take this away, but who's believing us and who cares is the real question. We don't have much showdown value. I think we just check it down. It's sad. I think, yeah. Sevens, take it. This could be interesting, but I don't think Crady lets it get to us. I think this could be shovable, to be honest with you. Yeah, well, Janek didn't let it get to us anyway. But if we're looking at the small blind with 14 bigs, yeah, it's shovable. Just, I mean, it's on the cusp, right? It's definitely not like shove over these stacks at this point, and we can't call this. So, what do? We fold it. That's right. You heard it here first. A little bit of stretch. Not really sure when I started my session. I feel like I started around 1, maybe noon. So this is a 4 or 5 hour session, I think now. Wait, 5 or 6 hour session, right? Everything like my timer and stuff got kind of messed up. I usually run a stopwatch on the computer, and when you restart the computer, you don't have that stopwatch anymore. So we are dealing with slight adversity today. In the realm of things, quite a bit of adversity with the HUD, but that's fine. Wow, what just happened? What just happened? Nothing as significant as I had first thought. Just a little straight action versus a set. I was tempted to shove over on this, but I feel like I'm behind a lot of stuff, and now that Shanky's deciding to open up, or Shanksy, I'm pretty sure I'm behind his range, or flipping and out of position, so it's not a good thing. We'd have a gut shot on this flop, backdoor flush draw, still sitting with that same gut shot, and backdoor flush draw would be no longer at the back door. And it wouldn't be at the front door. So we'd be in pretty big trouble on this, I think. Wow. Okay. Did this guy just limp pre? Yeah. Nine three king ace 9 flop. Okay. Interesting stuff on that last hand. We are 60 to 75 people remaining in this tournament. That's right, we're still remaining in this tournament. Who thought we were dead? Huh? I kinda did. But you gotta believe. No. Odds are we were out. But we found a way. If you're not dead till you're dead. Doesn't matter if you're chip lead right now or chip out. You're not out of that tournament until your seat's gone, and you're not winning that tournament until everyone else's seat's gone. So you just gotta try your best. Gotta get in there and mix it up. So the thing that surprises me is, like, this is a rebuy tournament, and that's fine. If you go really deep in it and you get first place, it was worth the rebuy for sure. If you get, like, final table, it was probably worth it type thing. But truthfully, until you get, like, 71st or better, and if you rebought once, you just broke even. And if you rebought 3 times, like you rebought twice, so you bought once and rebought twice, you have to get basically 44th place to break even. Doesn't feel like the best idea for most people. I expect some people to pick on this. I don't think Shanksy's played particularly loose, so I'm tempted to I don't know if I can shove after Janik decides to be a part of it. I'm flipping with anything above, right? This could be a heartbreaker. Do you want to see it? I mean, I'm getting good odds to see it, right? We're gonna see it. Poker Stars, you're killing me. So now if I see the 5, I'm scared of a 4. And they're gonna do something weird that puts me in a weird position to want to play but not, and yeah, we can't play to an open and a re-raise. This could have been a bad call pre. Just the odds seem so good, right? I know that you need 17 times X to blah 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 and all those things, but I think we had that considering stack sizes, right? Maybe we just shove that pre. I know there are some worlds in which that's good. Right? You're flipping with anything else, but then you could also get folds off of it. Just trying to think how often someone actually folds. And I think Shanky's tight, but I haven't really figured it out. We saw him play a little tight before. He's definitely a good player. You know? Doing good things. So we're in with like someone who's really deep stacked and then someone who's pretty deep stacked versus us for sure. Let's figure out where they are in this tournament. Let's actually look up some of these people on our tournaments. So Crady's number 4. He's 4th of 72 people left. And Shanky is 19th. We are 61 of 71, just enjoying our freedom as a low balla. Alright, there's no pressure down here. You just do or you don't. You just grab them chips and you show them in, or you just wave to everyone as they pass you. There could be something said for shoving this. It's a terrible hand. I just mean if we ever thought we could get through. I just feel like 3 people who are triple to 4 times our stack probably don't care a large majority of times. We made it to the next pay jump. So we are in the 45 to 71 range. I think we're probably going to shove this. definitely going to shove it when it folds to it. And in it goes. Fly free, my little ones. Bring back more chips. That is your mission. It's your mission, little sevens. We got one caller, that's not good news. But we could be flipping, or we could be ahead. Jack King, let's hold. Hold, 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 hold. Bam. Doubled up. Telling you those peanuts are lucky. It's interesting though, right? We're gonna mark what he does with that stack size. So King Jack offsuit, right? Okay. It's good to know. Like, he flatted that, right? He didn't shove it. He didn't, so he's probably flatting and folding to someone who could do more damaging things behind him, maybe? Or he might just be extremely loose. I don't know. That's okay. They gave us a little bit of a chip runway. I actually haven't seen many opportunities to steal in this tournament, right? I think today in particular that's been the case. In most tournaments, I can find spots maybe to do little steely things, grab some chips here and there, but today, not so. And that could be a sign of the day or time of day, right? Kings are fine. Gonna do a little min open. We're too short to being and too short, and it's too late to be a 2.2 open. And I think a shove might get too many folds. We're happy with this though. I think we'll be getting it in. Let's hold. Please hold. Oh my god, please hold. Oh. We pretty much held. That was a disaster river for us, but we pretty much held. I mean, kings versus ace king. Ace 10, right? When we look at this, I don't want to click too fast and go to the wrong thing. Let me put it up here. Switch it for a second. So doing this, fine, we get it in, yeah. 66% on the flop. This guy gets amazing equity. Or pre-flop, we're 66%. On the flop, this guy gets amazing equity. This guy's way behind, right? Then we get to the turn. These guys get like shut out of this at this point, right? So we're 66 again. We win this 66% of the time. Bam. 10 on the river just hands it to this guy. But just happy a heart didn't fall in there or something like that. We get an open shove from this guy who just did ace kingy stuff. This guy could be upset. Ace 5 offsuit is certainly not a hand we want to do something with. Wow, I should probably show you what's going on, huh? Alright, here we go. Let's fold it. Sorry about that, guys. kings versus sevens. This guy's played pretty good hands so far. I think the other guy not so. If it gets to us, we might try something min-raisey here. I'm a little worried that Janek Keever decided to flat us before, huh? Gonna fold it. I think we're gonna put Rio Mama in this little ballpark, from what we can tell. I wonder how that's... Okay. Look. I mean, we know that Crady's playing kind of wide, right? But I don't think we ever get him to fold either. So there's no real equity, or no real fold equity. And our actual hand is not amazing. Pocket twos are like pretty garbage. But today I've already folded twos, and a two has come on the flop. So let's not summon that little magical needle. Lucky Peanut. Part of me wants to open this. I don't think we're ever stealing it from Rio Mama. Rio Miamo. But I don't think he's being aggressive pre-flop too often. Yeah. We will see bet. Wow. Yeah, check that back. Hit a 10 on the river. Gonna call. We had the king, huh? Our one attempt at getting something post-flop did not work out. So let's see this. Let's mark it. Let's note it. I don't know if an ace-5 is a shove here. I think it's a fold. if Lucky Peanut was not so lucky. Maybe the next one will be? Maybe the next couple will be? Mid open from Janik. I'm gonna fold. We're 49 of 61. The payout structure is such that, as you can see, down there, it jumps at 44 by almost $1. That's a fair amount, considering the buy-in was $1. I'm gonna fold this though. We've been open from Janik. Call from Rio. We just got outplayed by Rio a second ago. Gonna try and look him up. No, can't find anything about him. Goes post flop. Telling you, this is painful without a HUD. I don't think we want to rip it in with Queen 2 offsuit, and it's because of Janik. He called us before, and I feel like he's not gonna really back off too much to aggression. He called a 9 big blind shove with King Jack offsuit, and he had 26 bigs, and people behind him had 30-ish. He was on the button, so I feel like even though his play wasn't necessarily incorrect, I feel like he's got a looser calling style, and I feel for Queen 2 offsuit to be a profitable shove in that scenario, you need to have a higher fold equity against that particular player, and we don't. And he's got more than 3 times our stack, and that's considerable. That makes it easier to just call, right? 48 to 57. This tournament started with 1,187 people, and we've made it to 57th place so far. So I'm excited about that. There could be worlds and reasons and rhymes that this is a shove. Janik and Rio are reasons why it is not. We're going to fold. Sorry for the phone in the background. Life happens. This song in particular sounds low. .46 of 44, or 46 of 56 rather. We're gonna have to make some things happen to really get higher. We've got a better attempt at it now than we did earlier, so we'll see what we can do. This is not the hand that we're looking for. Brunoston is all in. He's been sitting out this entire time. I'm actually curious enough to look him up on his other tournament and see if he's sitting out there too. He's in a $1 rebuy in that one, and he's sitting out as well. Interesting. Did he rebuy in this one? Right, seems like his rebuys are his thing. Let's see, did he rebuy in this? Brunnosen. He did. He rebought 3 times. So if he busts out right now, he did not profit on this tournament, which is, I don't know. You made it 55 places of 1,187 people, but you didn't hit profit. Seems a little bit crazy to me. In a deep payout. Maybe he's just got a weird aggressive style and then he just stops. We're gonna fold. Janik seems to be very steely. He's usually min opening, and this time he's 3x opening. At least that's what I think I've seen. Curious. So, we're gonna make a note on that. He lost to ace-9 offsuit. I would have shoved this, I think. Reasons for not shoving would have been Janik is tilted and will call. I don't think Hesse is unnecessarily overcalling me with Janik behind. The reasons for not playing it now are A Region has been showing up with really good hands. He's opening from an early position. Crady's showing that he's already committed, right? Pretty much. And then he's already covering my stack, so like I have no fold equity. Time to fold. Okay. Wow. Did we just see what we saw because we saw it? Yeah. Crafty. You crafty little fella. He finally got a pot. I mean, he was chip leader-ish earlier. Now he is back to his seniority, is he? No, he's up there and close, but he's not quite. I'm gonna fold this. There's good reasons for it. One of them is that Hesse is probably pretty tilted. He just basically doubled up off Janik, and then he lost with kings to someone who had aces. I mean, you're gonna lose kings to aces most of the time, but it's kind of sad that you picked up the kings and someone else picked up the aces in that spot. So I think he's going to be a little aggressive, a little tilted. Cut off, hijack, 10 bigs. Had our friend not done anything, I think this still would have been a fold. But the fact that he limped it makes it a considerable fold. Should be interesting. It's getting chippy out there, folks. 10-6 offsuit is not playable, so we shall not play it. That's just kind of how things work. We're going to be folding. Okay. That's interesting. So now we're 42 of 47. I don't know if those moves that they just made are right. For their playstyle, it certainly could be, and I know mine is too nitty at times. but I don't think I would have done what they just did. But yeah, it's just me. 42-47. Corhan is sitting out. I don't really know why. Let's have a look. He's just above us on chips, like slightly above. Maybe he's just hoping by sitting out. Like some people, I feel like they have this mentality or thought process that they'll sit out near final tables or near a bubble or something, and it will force lower people or people who are just slightly above them to be more aggressive or something. Maybe sitting out because it's a break time. I don't know. I'm going to hit up my break. I will be doing one of these. Putting out one of these. And I'll be right back. Thanks for watching.
films will feature huge gadgets, so he'll have laptops the size of a goat.
Back. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate all the support. Hit up that follow button if you haven't. Looking at you. You hit the button. Thanks, by the way. Alright. And I'm really sorry that my follow button doesn't have any like splash or anything that lets me know that you followed. I'm really sorry about that. Let's take it off break. Let's focus back on the table. 41 to 46. Don't have too much maneuverability left, but 5-3 suited will not be a shove under the gun. We've seen that Janik likes to mix it up, Rio likes to see every hand he can, and Crafty certainly does the same. Then you look at the fact that Korhan is kind of shortish just like me, so he may be willing to do some weird stuff. His life is also in threat, under threat. It's not looking good for him. Yeah, you're probably right, Rounders. I'm probably too tight a lot of times. But I'm trying to learn. I would be looser, by the way, with my HUD. I kind of lost, which is sad, but I am a little lost. I'm used to seeing more in-depth stat lines on how people are playing, and hopefully able to take it away from them post-flop. Know if they're just mixing it up pre-flop and not really with anything special, but it's been a little bit more difficult without that. Which is fair. I think had he jammed, we're calling there, by the way. We wouldn't love it, but we would. I think if it folds to us, we might be shoving Queen 6 suited. But Janik did call us before. Pretty loose. The longer we take, the worse it is for us. So let's not take too long. Queen 6 suited will be a shove. Will it? Will it? Yeah. I think, by the way, I think you're completely right, Rounders. I am too tight, and in the higher stake stuff, I would need to be looser. But I also think in the higher stake stuff, you don't have people doing some crazy stuff you see at this level. So, you know, a lot of times I'm getting out of the way with hands that would probably only be ending up heads up a lot of times. But in these stakes, they're probably 3, 4, 5-way pre-flop, all in, and I'm not, like, why am I mixing it up? My odds there are just so terrible, so. This could be a shove. Yep, it's right on the numbers for the shove. ICM might say no, but I say yes. I think A region is pretty tight, so this gives us opportunity. Obviously the calls were crying, but we get it. How long is this tournament be going? 4 hours and 6 minutes. Alright. Yeah, this guy's doing this stuff again. 7 the flop. I'm zoning out and looking at chat, and then I'm just doing other things. Now that's post flop. Corehand got it in with a gut shot. I don't know about that, Corehand. I don't think that's the smartest of plays. And now you're sitting out again. Could be. Should probably tighten up the payouts. Let's just do a little bit of this. Did we make it a 44? I think we did. Alright. I'll take another buy-in. That's fine by me. And for all of those players who are currently in the tournament who have rebought twice, congratulations on just breaking even. And thank you for pumping up the pot. Alright, Janik finally gets knocked out of this thing. It's about time. He's pretty loose. Crady's being loose, but tempered aggression. We're 4 off. Right. 12 bigs. This is not... Wait. This is shovable, huh? Alright. Looking for folds, folks. And if they call, let's just hit. I think Crady is less likely to call because of Yoshi behind. Obviously, if he raises or calls, he probably has a really good hand against ours, but in general, I think he's likely to fold. He's seen a lot with us. I don't know that Yoshi's been around too long, but they just feed us some chips. That's nice. We're going to fold the old Queen 4 offsuit under the gun. Razzle McDazzle, and a little foldy oldie. I just covered up the entire chat with that prize pool thingy. Next pay jump is 26. It's a whole $1. Right? Go from 332 to 462, a little over $1. It's a fairly good pay jump, but it's gonna be a while. Like, we're 35 of 41, so we can't really do anything about that. And just see what he's 3xing here with 12 bigs. Could just be a fancy steal, but I assume he's got a decent hand he's willing to defend with. How old am I? I am 34. I didn't put that in my bio, right? No, probably should. Yeah, $1 per hour. It's not optimal, but I don't really look at it as like you're earning $1 per hour. You're earning I don't know. You're earning knowledge, right? So like you're taking classes in poker, and you know there can be expensive classes. So if you want to mix it up in the $100 buy-ins and things like that, of course you can make more money, but you can also be paying a lot to learn those lessons. And I'd rather get a stable footing at this level than move up prematurely. So, and you'd be surprised how far $1 an hour can go in the Philippines. Yeah. Shoving this if it folds to us. I doubt it folds to us much. If core hand takes a run at us, we might think about doing something with ace-9. We're hoping for core hand to fold, and we'll definitely shove. We don't really want to see him do anything before us. There we go. I don't think Umka will fold too often, but good decent hand. Pick up some chips. Queen 7 offsuit, 15 bigs. Can't do anything about it now. I'm curious to know if we should be doing something out of it 4. No, I don't think so. $33 of 41. Can't complain. Okay. Looking at cutoff, 15 bigs. We cannot shove this, I believe. Sometimes you can shove just based on hands. I know that A region seems to be quite tight, so I don't really expect him to call too often. My thought process is more that Bake might be a little bit tilted, and Umka is pretty short anyway. So I think we're asking for more trouble than we really want to get involved with. We could min open it, but then we're definitely getting shoved by, more likely shoved by Unka or Baki. We don't want to min open call off king 6. It's a good read by Unka. It's a nice shove. Jack 2 suited is no good with open from Yoshitaka from Japan. Yoshitaka. And Ryo Miyamo in the big blind will, I have no question in my mind he will be calling us off. So we're gonna give the old folderinky dinky. Nines get into 10-8, and Umka's out. Making notes on how that played out. I'm actually really surprised that Ryo didn't come in on that, right? I think Umka's post flop's fine on the nines, but his pre-flop should be a shove with nines, I think. So we are 3 off, 13 bigs. We cannot shove ace 5 offsuit in my opinion. Yep, I live in the Philippines. Moved here a year ago? A little over a year ago. Visited a year and a half, 2 years ago. I decided it was for me, so I'm here now with my lovely wife. We're gonna fold queen 5 offsuit. Oh, such a beautiful hand to see on the button when you need to, or the blind, big blind, when you need to defend it. 70 offsuit is just something you're just so absolutely joyous to see. Yoshitaka with the min open. Kind of want to see core hand go nuts here, but I will be folding. I'm not going to defend a 7 deuce offsuit from the big blind. I would guess that's probably one of my weaknesses, blind defense in particular, but I know that this is not a good hand, just as I know the sun will rise tomorrow. We are 30 or 37. If it folds to us, we're definitively shoving. If Corehand does something minute, we might do something back. Kind of want Corehand to fold. Ah, his shove is not minute. He's being really tight, right? Let's have a look quickly at hands he's been involved with. You got in King 10, right? Yeah, we're gonna fold it. I think that could be a call, and that could be a mistake. But he seems so tight. It could be wrong. And especially with this limp now. Ay. I was actually considering a min open there. I know it doesn't hold much ground, but I was considering it. Right? Like, there's not many times that someone really folds, but I think A region probably is one of those, typically. $34 of 36. Ain't no pay jump till the 26, so we got a lot of work to do regardless. And I know a lot of poker pros, they talk about don't worry about the pay jump, just aim for first, this and that, but there's a reason ICM exists, folks. Right? There's a reason it's out there. And I know it's more forced and stronger towards a final table because those pay jumps are more significant, but it's still something. You know, it's not something to completely disregard. I just want my HUD back. Can I have a hug? Like, have a hug, right? Can I have a hug? Can I have a hug? Crazy song. Need a little more peanuts in my life. In my opinion, Ryomyamo is typically somewhat true post-flop. Yeah. I think he plays kind of loose passive. When he's betting, he probably has something. I think Corehand has changed his ranges a little bit. Maybe it's induced by his blind level, I don't know. I mean, kind of strange, right? I don't know what he's limping with 9.7 bigs behind. Feels like that's a bad idea. Could be good. I'm also confused. It says 30. Never mind. I was gonna say it says 32 or 33. He's only got 9.7 behind, but truthfully, he had 10.7, right? So he's technically above me before that. Made it to 33 people so far. Started with 1,187. Made it all the way down to this amount of people. I guess the prize pool at $1 buy-in kind of shows you how many entries there have been, right? So even though it's 925 entries and 262 re-entries, the quick tell is 1,187 in the prize pool. Is every buy-in is $1. It's $1.10, but I'm gonna put it at $1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 off. 10 bigs. It's a shove, folks. I'm gonna do it. Let's hope for folds. Alright. Folds or double ups. Don't mind which. My double ups, of course, is the goal. Gorhan's taking his time. From Romania. We just saw him take a pot, right? So maybe when he's chipped up his stack, he's not so interested in mixing it up. Some people are like that, right? Like if someone just won a flip, and they might have defended the next hand, now that they're kind of like happy that they're a little safer or whatever they consider it, so they won't mix it up in the next one unnecessarily. Obviously with a good hand they're going to do it. We can't jam this, which is a shame. I'm just going to check it. We're going to call one. We're going to call two. We're going to call three. Rio will tell us if he has better. Oh my god, why Rio? Get out of the way. Yep. That didn't work out for us. We just grabbed some chips and we just released them back into the wild. We're gonna shove. We were going to shove if Gorhan folded. But I don't think we can shove a King 6 offsuit at this point, which is a super shame. Gorhan started mixing this up considerably. I'm going to take him off of what he was. He had 2 pair, right? And he was min betting 2 pair. Okay. He's out of there. We would have shoved this. Now that we have a limp and an open, I think it's bad news bears for us. I'm sure there's equity. Like there's, not to call. I think calling's not good. But to shove, I mean. I feel like Crafty or Crady has tightened up his line since the early times we saw him. We have 7 big blinds. We'll be in the cutoff. This is a shove, folks. The one thing that makes this not feel good for a shove is Bakey's low too, but I think we still do it. Hoping for folds. It's a bad thing. At least want folds behind, right? We'd rather see this heads up than multi. Pretty dead. There we are. Alright. we finished 29th. 28th or 29th. Thanks for watching. I actually don't know how I did on the day because I don't have my tracker open, but I think we kind of break even on the day, to be truthful. And I appreciate everyone who's out there watching. It was a really fun stream today, other than the restart and all that, but I'm gonna get it sorted out, see what happened. Appreciate it. Thank you. Please hit that follow button. Please come back next time, and have a good night.